I love the Last of Us franchise, and when I saw Last of Us Part 2 is coming to PC, I said why not making a video analyzing weapons of Last of Us franchise. At the end of the video, I tell you which one of those weapons I would choose for surviving the cordyceps infection. Starting with pistols. Steyr M9A1, the Abbey's military pistol. It's actually not exactly like Steyr M9, but it looks like that gun more than anything else. It's pleasant to shoot with a light trigger and a nice mag release with low bore axis that reduces the muzzle rise when shooting. Its magazines also has 17 round capacity in real life, but in the game it's 6, upgradable to 10. The problem with this gun is its scarcity. You can't find it or its mags or spare parts, and that's what makes this gun bad for zombie apocalypse unless you have a warehouse full of this gun and its part. Beretta 92FS Inox. Ellie's choice for pistol. Well, she got a good taste in pistols, unlike in partners. In the game, it also has 6 round capacity with extended mag upgrade to increasing it to 10 rounds as always. But in real life, it has capacity of 15 rounds of 9mm. Its parts and mags are not very hard to find, especially back in the days when it was service pistol in the US Armed Forces, not exactly the M92FS Inox. The chosen model was M9, but their magazines, barrels, recoil assembly, trigger system, and some other parts are interchangeable. The difference between Inox version and a standard M92FS pistols are that Inox versions, or Inox, however you pronounce it, is made from stainless steel, which is way more durable, especially against humidity and water. Otherwise, all of the parts are interchangeable with M92FS. Its fixed barrel makes the gun more accurate too, and reliability and quality of this gun is fantastic. In the game, both Ellie and Abby can make a makeshift suppressor, but I can't tell you how to make one because YouTube won't allow that and will nuke my channel. So if this video gets 300 likes, I'll put a name of a book in comment sections that has a manual for making silencers. Joel's pistol, the Colt Defender, replaced by Browning High Power in Remake. Chambered in 9mm with capacity of 6, upgradable to 12. In real life, Defender has capacity of 8 and High Power has capacity of 12 without any extended mags. They're okay pistols, but kinda outdated, cause you can get modern pistols with 15 and 17 rounds mags that are also more modular and lighter in weight. Even finding spare parts for them are way easier than these two models, so yeah, you'd be better with a Glock. Also, recoil on any pistols in the game are significantly less in real life. You don't need to attach a muzzle brake to them unless you are in a shooting competition or something. Taurus Model 66. Revolvers are not advised for zombie apocalypse. Sure, they don't need mags, so you don't need to worry about failure, but they have lots of downsides like low capacity, which is 6 rounds of 357 Magnum in both video game and real life. They need more training since you might short stroke them, something that won't happen with semi-auto pistols. They are also more susceptible to malfunctions, unlike what FUD will tell you, and reloading them in a stressful situation, like when a zombie is chasing you, is almost impossible. The 357 mag rounds are more powerful than 9mm, but it's not that much of a difference, and changing barrel from 3-inch barrel to like 4 or 5-inch barrel can't make this gun much more powerful. It will definitely help with accuracy and adds a little bit power, but not anything significant. If you really want to get a revolver, you'd better get a Smith & Wesson model, cause most Taurus guns are not very reliable. El Diablo. This abomination is based on a Smith & Wesson 629, but it's a top break like ancient Welby revolver. If you're wondering why they don't make top break revolvers anymore, because they were more expensive but less durable. This gun in the game has a 1 round capacity, upgradable to 3 rounds. While in real life, it has capacity of 6 rounds of 44 Magnum. Like Model 66, in the game its damage can be increased by changing the barrel, but problem is it only has a heavier barrel which can increase accuracy and durability, and a compensator that can reduce recoil, but none of them will increase damage. Bottom line is, in real life it's not that bad of a choice, especially against tougher infecteds like lickers and shamblers. You can even hunt some medium-sized game like deer from short range with it, but against runners, stalkers, or hostile survivors, you'd be better with a 9mm pistol. Beretta M70. pistol used by Ellie in Last of Us Part 1. I don't know why in all movies and video games they give small characters small pistols, cause in real life they have more recoil and less grip, so shooting them is a bit harder. This is a compact and reliable gun, but magazines and spare parts are not easy to find. And I'm assuming this gun is chambered in 9mm and not the smaller 380 or 32 ACP rounds. In the remake, they changed this gun with a Walther P5, which is even more rare. Thompson Arms Contender, in-game known as hunting pistol. This gun can be found in tons of different calibers, and in the game you find the 357 Magnum version. But even that can be caliber swapped if you change the barrel to a different caliber. Is it a good choice? No. The break action guns are not good for zombie apocalypse, cause if you happen to be against 2 zombies, you will be beaten before reloading your contender. It can probably use caliber conversion tools, but they make reloading even more miserable, so they don't worth it. Oh, did I mention in the game you can change the barrel with a compensated one for more damage? I hope they study guns and ballistics more for their next games. I wish in No Return mode we could use Tommy's 1911 when playing as him, but anyways, it has capacity of 7 or 8 rounds of 45 ACP. Yes, a bit more power than 9mm, but it has same problem of the Colt Defender, and only difference between them is more popularity of 1911. NPCs in the game use this abomination of pistol, but before I tell you what is it, smash that subscribe button if you like apocalyptic content. It looks like a cursed combination of SIG P226 frame and Ruger P8 slide. I don't know why they made that, but each of those guns are respectable. P8 is old and not very common, so you'd better stay away from it. And P226 is tough and reliable pistol. Back in the days, SIG pistols were something else, unlike nowadays. But getting a Glock would be better unless you live in a country that P226 is more popular. Shotguns. Mossberg 500, replaced by Remington 870 in remake. In the remastered version, Joel had a Mossberg 500, but in the remake version, they changed that to a Remington 870. There's not much to debate about which is better, except the fact that 870 is a smoother, and Mossberg is more durable and reliable, has a better safety, and unfortunately, new Remington products are known to have bad quality. Both of these guns are good, but Mossberg, especially Mossberg 590, is better. They can shoot birdshot for hunting birds, buckshot for zombies and raiders, backshot for cougars, slugs for big game hunting like bears, and tough infecteds like bloaters. Is it recommended? Yeah. Remington 870 Police Magnum. Ellie's shotgun. What's the difference between the previous Remington 870 of Joel? Police Magnum version has an all-metal trigger group, unlike modern 870 that has polymer trigger groups. Police Magnum has a heavy-duty spring that are higher quality and durability. They have parkerized finish, which are more corrosion resistant, polished action bars for a smoother action, better sights, way better quality control than nowadays Remingtons, even individually inspected, and other improvement compared to normal 870. So which is better, Mossberg 590 or 870 Police Magnum? They're both good, but if you want to get an 870 Police Magnum, get one with a stock, cause shotgun without a stock isn't that good. In part 2, some Rattlers and Joel used Remington 870 Express Tactical. It's not that different from normal 870, except having synthetic parts instead of wood, and some improvements for tactical usage like 18.5-inch barrel, 6 shell capacity, and rail for adding optic. In the other hand, Abby uses double-barreled shotguns like Baikal MP27 1C. Is that a good weapon? If that's the only gun you can get, yes. Is that a good choice if you can choose between a pump action and a break action? No. She also used the rusty unidentified side-by-side shotgun in Santa Monica. It doesn't matter if the shotgun is over and under or side-by-side. They're both bad for fighting zombies. The side-by-side has perk of having bigger field of view, and the over and under has the perk of being more accurate because both barrels are aligned. They were mentioned in my worst weapons for zombie apocalypse video too. Incendiary shells. They are more of a gimmick than actual effective weapons, but since cordyceps is so vulnerable to fire and will easily catch fire, they might be useful against infecteds like shamblers and bloaters. If you want to make one, which is not advised, you need magnesium, and you can find it on fire steels. Shave it without lighting it and fill the shell with dead pieces. Again, it's not advised since they make the gun way more dirty and might damage the barrel of the gun. Shorty. In real life, it's called Servo Super Shorty, which is a small pump action 12 gauge shotgun, not a semi-auto mag-fed like the game. Also, the one in the game is apparently not 12 gauge, cause in that case, it should have used ammo of main shotgun. In the remake, they changed the gun with a fictional handmade shotgun. Is it good in real life? It depends on the gauge. If it's 12 gauge and devs wanted to balance it or something, then yes. If you are in close quarters, it will pack a punch, but only in close quarters and not beyond 20 meters. If it's 16 gauge, then maybe, if you can easily source the ammo of course. And if it's 20 gauge, then again maybe. And if God forbid it's 410 bore, then forget about this gun. Rifles. Winchester M70 or Remington M700 CDL in Remake and Part 2. Both M70 and M700 are iconic bolt-action guns. Both were chambered in lots of calibers. M70's difference with M700 or especially M700 CDL is not much. Differences are like M700 has a way bigger aftermarket support. M70 is heavier. M70 is more used for hunting, while M700 were used in both hunting and military usage. The M700 CDL model has a classic deluxe walnut stock, blued barrel with better finish, X-Mark Pro trigger, and overall more accurate and better quality than normal M700. In the game, bolt-action rifles are all chambered in 223 cartridge, which is basically 5.56. Yes, their package is saying 222, but I believe developers thought there will be some kind of copyright claim on the 223 cartridges, so they made it 222. In the Part 1, M70 takes only 1 round, upgradable to 3, but in real life they have 5 round capacity if use internal magazine, and in case of using detachable box magazine, they can carry 5 to 10 rounds. It was some kind of semi-auto, but in the remake they added cycling animation to it. In Part 2, gun has a 3 round capacity with upgrade that make it 6 round in a detachable box magazine. But in real life, its box magazine are from 5 to 10 rounds or even more in some models. In Part 1, you could upgrade for penetration and power separately, while in Part 2, there's only power upgrade, which in both it adds a muzzle brake. That in real life, it only reduces the recoil and doesn't increase the power. Hell, even might reduce power, but very a small percentage that is probably not noticeable. For increasing penetration, only realistic thing they could do was to add a longer barrel, so it could increase velocity of the projectile by getting more powder burn in the barrel. More velocity means more energy, more penetration and damage, so it would increase both of them. Unless you could use armor-piercing rounds. Are bolt-action rifles good for zombie apocalypse? No, unless you can't get anything better. Abby's semi-auto rifle. It looks like something from Molot Arms, probably designed based off a Vapor rifle. It takes 9 round magazines, and with upgrade, you can have 12 round magazines. But in real life, they take 5, 10, 20 or 30 round magazines. The 12 round upgraded magazines we see in the game is actually in size of 20 round mags. There is also an upgrade that adds 3 round burst capabilities. Is that useful? No. Is that possible in real life? I think yeah, but it probably would be way easier to just make it full auto. So the $1 million question is that good choice for zombie apocalypse? If you're in United States, then no. You'd be better getting an AR-15. If you can't get anything better, like service weapon of your country, or this gun is popular in your country's civilian market, then yeah, it's good. Main problem was finding spare parts, otherwise it's a good gun. M16A1 service weapons of fireflies. They nerfed this gun so much compared to real life. Imagine this, power of the bolt action rifle of this game, recoil is less than pistol of this game, and 30 rounds magazine. It would break the game. Pretty much all guns could, and that's why they are all nerfed in recoil, fire rate, and magazine capacity. Is it a good choice? Absolutely. But this 20-inch long barrel would be a little bit hard to use in close quarters, but you will have same problem with all long guns of this list too. Accuracy International Arctic Warfare Magnum, the most powerful gun we see on this game. It's even more powerful than 50 cal machine gun while shooting 338 Lapua Magnum. This gun is very rare. Even if you use a 338 Lapua Magnum bolt action rifle that is not that rare, you still will have problem finding its ammo. Even if you're planning to buy and stockpiling its ammo, it will cost a fortune. It's very powerful. It will one-tap a bloater. If you shoot its head, it can reach targets up to a mile away if you're trained enough. But it is still not a good choice for zombies, unless you want to put it somewhere for defensive use. Even for that, you'd be better with a semi-auto or bolt action rifle chambered in 7.62 NATO radio rounds. They will be cheaper to buy and way easier to find. If you're wondering how powerful our 7.62x51 rounds are, we saw them in game on Tommy's gun. Everyone thinks this is an M1A or M14. Even IMFDB, which is a website about firearms of movies and video games, mistook it for an M1A. But there is a clear sign it's not. Look at the gas piston. It's on the top of the barrel, unlike the M14 and M1A. But to be fair, rest of the gun looks more like M1A. It's a combination of FN M49 and M1A. M49 is a Belgian battle rifle, not very popular because it's got replaced by FAL after few years. About 10,000 M49 ever made, which is not that much. And the sniper models, which is what Tommy is using, is even more rare. It's estimated that only 200 of them ever made. So it's not a good weapon for zombie apocalypse, unless you live in one of those countries that once used that gun as their service weapon, if now they can be easily found in civilian markets. In the campaign, this gun has capacity of 4, and in the no return mode, it has only 2 rounds, but in real life, its max has capacity of 10 rounds. And if you say it's M1A, they have just made a mistake on its gas system design, then M1A can take 5, 10 or 20 rounds max, and sometimes even bigger max. M1A still has some problems of M14. It's better than a bolt action rifle though, unless it's get a bit dirty. But you'd be better off with an AR-10. Otherwise, unlike FN M49, it's not that bad. Dina's rifle is modeled based on Remington Model 81 Special Police, which is a very old gun. It's pretty much a collector piece nowadays, because M81 production began in 1936. Even IMFDB couldn't identify this gun, but I, the greatest apocalypse enthusiast of all time, could. It has a larger magazine in real life with 15 rounds capacity, but in the game it has a smaller mag with only 1 round capacity. Maybe because the level we get to use this gun is cut and left unfinished. And yes, you can use this gun on the added section to play in the cut levels. It's available on remastered version of part 2. It's chambered in 35 Remington and 30 Remington. They're both rare. You should not use this gun. As I said, it's pretty much a collector piece nowadays. Around less than 1,000 of these guns were ever made. Smash that like button if you think Ellie's being a lesbian is bigger blow to human gene pool than the zombie apocalypse itself. Mini 14, used by WLF soldiers. It's actually a pretty good choice. Of course, it's not better than AR-15, but pretty good. It's not rare. Ammo is easily available. Can take 10, 20 or 30 rounds magazines, and it's reliable. So yeah, it's a good gun. Marlin M336, used by Jesse. It's a pretty good quality lever action gun, chambered in 30-30 Winchester. Great choice for people who can't get the semi-auto gun compared to bolt action rifles. Special weapons. Shout out to my M2 heavy machine gun, which shoots bullets that can penetrate even brick walls, the real walls, not those American identified as walls.
Fuck you and whatever you were hiding behind.
In that game, it deals less damage than a 5.56 bullet. I feel bad for the poor guy. Also, it's an overkill for zombies. You'd better get something lighter that can have more ammo, like M249. Flamethrowers. Both the one that Joel finds and the one Abby finds. They both suck. Okay, maybe not for cordyceps infected zombies, because it looks like cordyceps is very vulnerable to fire and can catch fire easily. Otherwise, it's not a good choice for a zombie, because all it will do is to set the zombies on fire, and now flaming zombies are running at you. Also, the real flamethrowers use flammable liquids, not propane tanks. Molotovs are same here. Maybe good for cordyceps zombies, but not others. Also, they're big fire hazards, both flamethrowers and Molotovs. MPX. It's a solid SMG or for civilians, pistol caliber carbine. But in my opinion, AR-9 that can take Glock mags is way better, because you can find the mags way more easier. The only possible problem with this gun is that it's a bit rare, otherwise it's good especially with suppressor. Apparently it shoots subsonic rounds, and that's why it's so quiet. If you use supersonic rounds, it will be quieter compared to without suppressor shooting, but it's still loud enough to attract nearby zombies. Bows. They're good if you have enough training with them and chose the right draw weight. If it's a 50 to 60 pounds, it's powerful enough for zombies, human enemies, and hunting small to medium games without getting you fatigued too soon. But it still will be too heavy for some people. You can get a heavier one if you think you're okay with that. Hey, you know why guns replaced bows so quickly? Because training an elite archer took years of practice. They were trained from their childhood like elite athletes. These training regimens were so so serious that even their bone structure changed. But for firearms, it only took few weeks to train a soldier to be proficient with a gun. So bows are not superior to guns, even in survival situations. To all the bow fanboys out there, you are not Rambo. You are not Lara Croft.
You are gay.
Also, don't forget to have a sidearm like a pistol, cause it's not good for firefights or fighting a pack of zombies. The only possible scenario where a person with a bow can take out a person with a gun in a fight without ambushing is if the bow guy is dash render and the gun guy is Democrat representative pretending to be a gun owner. Arrows are not always reusable, especially lower quality ones. But the good thing is that you can make arrows if you learn those skills. If you learn how to make arrows, it will be great. You can use anything from tin cans to bones and glass shards as arrowheads. Adding explosive payloads to the arrow isn't any practical. You can throw it better with your hands. I did a full video about those for zombie apocalypse. I put the link on his playlist in the end of the video. Crossbows. They have some advantages and disadvantages compared to the bows, like they can be kept ready to shoot without tiring you, but they are heavier and harder to reload. And just like bows, they were using for some situations if you have a sidearm and not planning to go against a horde with that thing. Nail bombs. Just look at this abomination. Even holding it in your hands is dangerous. It might cut you or explode. Carrying these improvised explosive devices is like gambling on your life. Since they're not stable and might react with the slightest pressure or heat, you have a decent chance to blow yourself up just with carrying it. Even using it is dangerous. You might get hit by its sharp nails too. Trap mines. Same situation like Bill's nail bombs. Since they are both made with probably tannerite, they are risky to carry and you might trigger one of the traps. They can be useful for defending some places, but they are risky as hell. The stun bombs. Similar to nail bombs and mines, it's too risky to use and carry. It's probably made with flash powder, compared to nail bombs and mines, which are probably made with tannerite. Both of these ingredients are dangerous and not stable enough to carry around in a post-apocalypse world. Pipe bombs. They are a bit safer than previously mentioned explosives because of their case, but they still possess risks. So what gun I would choose from this list? Before I tell you, tell me in the comment section what would you guys choose from this list. For pistol, I choose Breda M92 FS Inox because of their availability and outstanding durability. For the long gun, I choose M16A4. They are best on this list. If possible, I would add a Mossberg 590 to my loadout too. Also, a bow would be useful too when clearing area around my shelter. Of course, I'm not gonna carry all these weapons on me and will keep most of them at my shelter. I would mostly carry the pistol and M16 unless it's a special encounter. And if I want to make explosives, I would use pipe bombs, but I'd rather not using them. Also, Molotovs and flamethrowers can be good for cleaning places from cordyceps infestation, and from the zombies, mostly from the grown fungi in the walls and spore producers. What do you guys think about my loadout? Now, if you want to know about bows or other weapons for zombie apocalypse, check out the playlist right here. Thanks for watching.